making some of the most useful consumer tech available to more people. Welcome back for another Techstination interview. Joining us is Dave Crosby, co-founder and chief marketing officer at a company called Wyze, spelled with a Y and a Z. Thank you for joining us, Dave.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. Happy to join the Techstination experience.
Well, you've got a wonderful corporate story to tell and a personal story. We're going to start on the company side here. Tell us what Wyze is all about. It seems to me it's a very different kind of consumer electronics company.
Sure. We have a mission to make great technology accessible to everyone, and to be friends with customers. And so, we're trying to do something different in the smart home space and in the IoT space by making electronics that are incredibly affordable, and then loading them up with all sorts of great features. And we really want to create a too good to be true experience when someone opens one of our products and finds the value in it and compares that to the price they paid. We want them to be blown away. And that's what we've been doing for the last 3 years, and we've rolled out 30 or so products, and have lots more planned.
Well, we want to talk specifically about some of the products, but let's get to a sense of how this happened, why this came about this way. You and some of your colleagues, I understand, worked at Amazon previously.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how in depth you want me to go on the story, but I was working at Amazon. I was on their musical instruments team, and a couple of friends were working on another team. And we saw some trends in the smart home industry. We felt that this smart home industry, first of all, there was a number of problems. It was not widely adopted. It was still, despite having really cool products and a big change, it was kind of focused on a very specific set of tech users and wasn't going kind of mainstream. And the biggest problem is it was just too expensive. As cool as the products were, you'd have to pay $200 for a smart home camera, and that was just a threshold that was too much for a lot of people. And then the third problem was just the technology wasn't smart enough. It was smarter than your average electronics, but it wasn't to a point where it was useful enough. And so the three of us, making a long story short, set off on a journey to fix those three problems. So of course, the first thing we did is we brought the price way down. So we launched a camera that instead of $200 was $20. And that was a very tough decision for us as entrepreneurs and people with big aspirations and dreams. But there was a lot of market research at that time that said we should have charged $40 and $50, but we really wanted to make a statement that our company was going to stand up for something, and that was being friends with users. And if our friends walked in the door, what would we charge them for this product? And so that's what we've anchored and built the foundation of our business on. And so we charged as little as we possibly could, and we started with that camera, and things just kind of blew up from there. It has spread very quickly. We've got, fortunately, some great press and coverage from people like yourself that have been interested in our story and what we've been trying to do at Wyze. And we've since, we started with cameras, but we've launched now many products from light bulbs to smart plugs to scales to now even a robot vacuum cleaner. There's all sorts of stuff that we're really filling out the smart ecosystem, kind of first within your home, and now even branching off into some more lifestyle products like a smartwatch.
Well, I've taken a look at the smartwatch. I went out and purchased one. I ordered one early on, and that's what it looks like.
You're wearing it. Amazing.
Yeah, I am. And, I look at all kinds of technology, Dave, and when I show this to someone in the family who's wearing an Apple Watch, and they say, that looks really nice. It kind of looks like an Apple Watch. And I say, well, guess how much it cost? And when I say $20, they don't believe me. That's the response that you get.
Good. That's exactly the response we want. It's that too good to be true experience. How in the world did you get that much value for the price you paid for? And that's our goal with everything that we launch.
And it tells me blood oxygen levels, a heart rate, and gets notifications from the phone. Does everything, most everything you'd want a smartphone to do. It's not going to do the GPS stuff necessarily that some higher end watches will do, but
right. But one of the greatest things about our products is, and our users, expect this experience from us, but we'll launch a product, but that product, I promise, will get much better over time. We have over 100 developers working very hard on improving the experience of all of our products. So we usually launch a product when we feel like it exceeds that threshold of being too good to be true, and then our engineers will continue to work on those products and make them better and better. And for example, our original Wyze cam, when it first launched, had 4 or 5 core features, and within a year or two had probably 15 to 20 features. And these are all the requests from the users. We closely watch our user community, and we see the things that they want in our products, what they're requesting after kind of playing with them and using them, and then we build those features into the product. So someone like yourself, the watch is very new. We are watching those communities very closely to see what requests are coming in on the watch, and we will, as fast as we can, start building those features into the watch.
Very exciting. Still, I want to get to the heart of this, because most companies, when they look at pricing, are looking in the opposite direction. How much can I charge? Not how little can I charge? So tell me about the thinking behind it. Why?
Yeah, it's definitely, we started off with this foundation. Is I can remember the day that the three of us founders were in a room trying to think about how we were going to build our business, and that was, being friends with customers is how we decided to build this business. And so everything is anchored upon that philosophy. And since then, as we've grown and we've gotten more users, there's of course been temptation. If anything we launch now, we know we'll sell a lot of units because we have a lot of trust with our user base. And so we have to be so focused on those principles to keep on charging those margins that are just too good to be true. And we usually target anywhere from 3% margin to a 10% margin on our products. That's usually where we hang around. I think a lot has to do with as well, we came from Amazon, and Amazon's a great company. We loved our experience at Amazon, and Amazon embeds in you some core leadership principles. And part of those are build things for the long term, don't focus on short-term profits. And so that's always been a key mindset of what we want to be as a company. You never want to do like a short-term profit grab. What you want to do is instill high confidence and loyalty and trust in your customers. Because the thing is, you may have bought that smartwatch for, a 5% margin, a 3% margin, whatever we had on that smartwatch. But, it got your attention. And hopefully the next time when we launch a new camera, or we just launched our home monitoring, professional monitoring security system, you might come back and take a look at that as well. And so over the long term, even though we made 3-5% margin on from that one sell, over the long term, we've built your loyalty and your trust that you'll support us for years to come, hopefully.
I've been doing this tech segment for a really long time. Back in the early 90s, Jeff Bezos came to see me in the studio. Wow. and told me about his idea for selling books online. And my response was, well, don't people love to thumb through? I was a little skeptical, but I guess he's done okay. So,
that's pretty amazing.
So tell me, with the next product coming out, this home monitoring system, and you've got a lot more to talk about as well. Tell me how that works and the pricing. You're really disrupting there again.
Yeah, our goal is to blow people's mind. Too good to be true. Once again, the Wyze home monitoring is something we're very excited about. Traditionally, you'd have to the average price. I don't want to speak exactly what it is, but from the main competitors, what we see is anywhere from kind of $15 to $60 a month to have your home have a security system, and then you got to pay on top of that hardware fees. So you got to pay $250 for one of our main competitors. I know their hardware is $250 and $30-$40 a month to get the professional monitoring, somebody watching it 24/7. What we've done is, again, we are pricing this as low as we possibly can, almost zero margin for us, building that long-term trust with the customers on the hardware for sure. So right now we're giving, if you sign up for an annual subscription, we will give you all the hardware for free, no cost, and it's just $5 a month. And so we've done a number of things to make sure that we can make that margin work for us as a company and make sure it works for our company or for the customers. But the hardware is fantastic. It's brand new. We've redesigned all our hardware with security in mind. It's got great range. We have the contact sensors that go on the door. Those will give you the notifications if the door's been opened or broken into. You can put them on windows as well if they've been opened or broken into. We have the motion sensors that you can see if anyone's moving in the room. And these notifications will all go to your phone, kind of set up however you want to, set up your notifications. And then we have a keypad that you can arm your system, you can disarm your system, you can set it so it's guarding only the outside of the house as opposed to monitoring all the motion in the house. We're really trying to make it as user-friendly as possible, and then make it so we want to make the home security system so inexpensive that it's just kind of crazy not to have it. For $5 a month, like there's no more excuses to not have a security system in your house. That's what we hope will happen.
And the cameras that you've already been selling will work with this?
Absolutely. That the cameras will plug into the system as well. So that the cameras are only 23, 24 bucks right now. So you can add those onto the system as well. So if one of those contact sensors is triggered, the door opens. If you have a camera, you can actually see the video of what was triggered or what happened. If motion was sensed, what moved. You can have these cameras set up next to these sensors or wherever you want to heavily monitor your home. And that's one of the other amazing things that we're seeing from our customers, because our cameras are so inexpensive. Instead of buying 2-3 cameras to put on the outside of your house, your porch, you can put them everywhere. You can buy 10 cameras and put them all over the place, and so you can have a real good look at what's happening inside your home or wherever you want to monitor.
And the storage, you have plans that allow people to have longer storage of the videos?
Yep. So we have local storage on the cameras. So there's no requirement for subscriptions at all. You can record 24/7 to your micro SD card. If you're a little bit more security conscious, it's possible a thief could come and take that camera, and which would take the storage with it. And so we do have Cam Plus, which will give you cloud storage. And although we offer 12 seconds for free, so 12 seconds of motion you will see for free in the cloud, and we cover the cost of that. But if you want longer than the 12 seconds, you can record full events, all motion, and that's $15 a year for that plan, or $1.99 a month. And that also includes, by the way, for the camera, that will also upgrade the camera to have AI features. So instead of getting a notification for every movement, you'll only get a notification for if a person is detected, or if a package is detected, or a vehicle. Those are the 3 AI features that we're currently offering.
And you have some personal experience with how valuable a camera can be in detecting a theft.
That's right. That's right. You may have seen, we put a YouTube video out a few weeks ago, but it's funny, back when we were launching our outdoor camera, I had a few of them in my car, and I also had some beta units around my house. I was testing them out. And sure enough, in the middle of the night, someone came and broke into my car and ran off with these brand new cameras that weren't even released to the market yet. And then they showed up on Craigslist shortly thereafter. And so I reviewed my camera footage, saw the person breaking into the camera, turned it over to the police, and we met up with this person who was selling my cameras on Craigslist. I actually kind of pretended I was a buyer, met up with this person, showed up with the police, got my cameras back. And fortunately, that guy was, put into the system a little bit. Hopefully he can not do that to other people as well.
Let's hope. So some of the other products you have, what's hottest for you right now? I mean, you're churning these out at such a rapid rate, it seems, but what's the hottest new stuff?
Yeah, for sure. We just launched the Wyze Cam V3, which is our new upgraded camera. We started with the V1 when we launched, went to the V2, 6 months or later. This one is we've been building for about a year and a half, and have the V3 out. It's my favorite camera. It's incredible. It's the night vision is just unbelievable on the V3. Pretty much shocks everybody that they see. We have color night vision on it. Of course, we have the outdoor camera, which is also an amazing camera. It doesn't have any cords, which makes it so nice. You can put those anywhere, and they endure. Both of those cameras are weatherproof. And then we recently released the video doorbell. So that's an awesome product to put on your porch. Also incredibly affordable. It's $45. And the most recent product that I just got, we just started shipping, is the color bulbs, the smart bulbs that are can do any color you want, 16 million colors. So those are kind of the most recent hot items, but a lot of the stuff has done really well lately.
And that's such a competitive category. I mean, there's so many smart bulbs out there. Tell us where Wyze comes in and says, here's what we're doing that's different.
Yeah, it is a definitely more competitive category. It's harder, to disrupt the camera category. It wasn't very hard because we made it for $20 instead of $200. Bulbs are harder to disrupt in that kind of shocking of a way, because there's already some pretty competitive pricing out there. But of course, we aim to be the market leader in color bulbs. Compare our pricing with anyone else, and then just the quality. We're not just making a cheap product. We're making a very high quality product for the lowest price possible. So if you take those color bulbs, there's been several YouTube reviews I've seen already comparing them to someone like Philips Hue. They're every bit as good as those bulbs with a you're going to pay a lot less for them, and the software is fantastic.
Well, let's talk a bit about the personal side, if you don't mind, Dave, because
Sure.
especially during this pandemic, the entertainment that you and your family have provided on YouTube has been something my family, millions of others really look forward to. So how did this all come about? People should know this is about music and the talent that you have, and your daughter Claire and the rest of your family too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a interesting backstory jumping into why I started doing all this stuff. But back when I was working at Amazon, um, I I made a video with my daughter. I've always played music, I've always been a musician, and my daughter was just 3 years old at that time, and she started to sing, and so I thought it'd be kind of fun to make a music video with her, and we made a little Disney music video and put it on YouTube. Just kind of fun, had a good time with it. I wanted to capture her little singing voice at 3 years old because I thought it was cute and fun, and the video went viral. It blew up, got covered in all these different news stations, and celebrities were tweeting it out and all this kind of stuff. Um, so we made another video, and that video went viral. And then we made another one, and that video went viral too. And at that point, it was kind of like we kind of have something here that maybe we can pursue, and it'd be fun. We were getting a lot of invites to go on the Ellen show, and I got an invite to go on The Voice, and so I ended up leaving Amazon mainly for that, because I had this opportunity to go on The Voice, and as I was on The Voice, I was on Team Adam on The Voice, and when you're on The Voice, they kind of lock you down to a hotel room. You can't go a lot of places because it's not a live show. They're pre-recording it, so they don't want the information to get out. And so as you're in the hotel room, you have a lot of time to think. And as I'm in the hotel room, I'm working with these partners these guys from Amazon, and that's when we kind of formed this new idea for this new company, and started working out a lot of the details, finding the manufacturers and all that kind of stuff. And by the time I was done with The Voice, we were rocking, ready to roll. And so we got back together and put all the rest of the kind of the early marketing materials together, and built the software, hired the engineers to do that kind of stuff. And then we launched, I got done with The Voice in I think August, and we ended up launching in October. So since then, we still have our YouTube channel. And for me, I could just do YouTube full time with my daughter, but it always felt so weird, because it was I felt weird. My daughter was almost the breadwinner of the family, so that was never sat right with me. And that's why immediately after leaving Amazon, after 2 or 3 months of that, I just felt so weirded out by that experience that I wanted to do something new. And this Wyze opportunity stuck, like it was something that I'd been thinking about at Amazon, and knew that I had to pursue that at the same time I was doing this YouTube thing. And so I've been kind of doing both of them at the same time over the last couple years. And fortunately, they've both been going great. They're both very busy, so trying to figure out how to balance that has been tough. But yeah, making YouTube videos on the side on the weekends, and doing Wyze during the day.
And Claire is how old now?
She's now 8, if you can believe it. We've been doing it for 5 years now.
Wow, just amazing. And I assume she gets a little bit of an allowance. I mean, come on.
She's funny because she's getting smart enough to kind of figure this out a little bit. But so of course we have we have an account for her, and she doesn't know she gets paid. Essentially, someday she's going to be very, very pleasantly surprised. Let's put it that way.
And there are 4 children in all, and the newest is Millie. Is that right?
Yeah, Millie was born back in December, so she's about 4 months old now.
Terrific. Now, everybody contributes some. I know your wife sings along, and the boys are singing too, or there's one.
Yeah,
boy, right?
music is a big part of our family. My wife is her main thing is she's a great piano player, but she's also started to sing a little bit, just kind of having fun. We're kind of trying some new stuff. And then my little boy, my only boy, he knows he's a little bit more on the shy side. He doesn't love singing in front of people, but he has perfect pitch, and he's an incredible little ukulele player. And so I'm sure he'll break out of his shyness, and he'll be singing at some point, because he's definitely incredibly musical.
So how difficult is it for you mixing the corporate life with this YouTube life? I mean, you have, I don't know what the latest number is. How many millions of subscribers?
Oh man, it's definitely been
a lot.
the biggest challenge in my life, right? Like trying to balance these two things, and a lot of it comes down to just, I've had to learn the hard way in a lot of different areas. Delegation. I have a really hard time giving up control of a lot of different things, but fortunately, I've found some good people to help me along the way, especially on the Wyze side. We've grown our team to over 200 employees now, really, really talented people. And that's taken a lot of the pressure off of trying to make every single decision. And we also, that's a big emphasis for us at Wyze. We want people to be owners at Wyze, and be able to make their own decisions. And so we really heavily encourage people to be decision makers in our company. And so that has helped people being their own entrepreneurs and figuring stuff out without needing to be handheld along the way on everything. And so still trying to figure that out. It's still a process. I need to, hire more people on the YouTube side of things probably at this point. But
are you doing most of the production work yourself still? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I have some freelancers and I have an assistant, but yeah, just the one employee right now on the YouTube side of things, which is pretty crazy. I definitely need. I just actually hired another one, so I'll have two starting next month, but probably could do with another two or three on that side of things as well.
Well, how has the pandemic affected the operations at Wyze? I know supply chains are disrupted for all kinds of companies out there today, for a variety of reasons, including the pandemic. And the pandemic, how has that affected what you're doing on YouTube?
Yeah, starting with why is in the beginning it was very impactful for us. Of course, our supply chains immediately shut down, and because we're such a low margin company, we depend on very high volume to make that work. We have high fixed costs every month. We have high cloud costs every month. We have a lot of employees that we're paying every month, right? And when you suddenly lose your entire inventory supply, those fixed costs are hard, very hard on your company, right? And so the first couple months were a little bit scary because we kind of lost supply. Fortunately, we didn't go out of stock for too long. We were able to make it work. We'd made some big orders earlier that year that were able to sustain us, and so it wasn't as scary as we thought it could be if it had gone on a few months longer with our supply chains shut down. As it got kind of as it progressed, we looked at some more opportunities because we have such great supply chain partners. We were able to source really early on some kind of COVID equipment, masks, thermometers, that kind of stuff. We offered. I know kind of everyone sells masks now, but back last March, we were kind of one of the first companies to offer masks to their customers, just because we had such a great supply chain relationship, and we wanted to be friends with your users and try to provide our users with the equipment that they would need to front the incoming storm. And so we were able to kind of create some new product offerings. Of course, we didn't have much margin on them, but from a cash flow perspective, they were really helpful for us. So we did that the first couple of months, and then from then on out, once the supply chain situation got kind of figured out, it's been good for us. We're an e-commerce company, and so fortunately we don't have any stores, and so we've benefited a little bit from that, which is kind of hard to say. I know a lot of people are suffering out there, a lot of businesses, but fortunately we don't have any hard retail locations, so the e-commerce business has done better. From a personal side on YouTube, the only thing that's really affected us is we haven't been able to do any kind of the big elaborate shoots that we're used to doing. But it's kind of the same thing. I almost feel bad saying it, but because people are stuck at home, they got nothing to do but watch YouTube, and so all the views are going up, everything's going up. So trying to give back from that to the people that aren't benefiting from that so much.
Well, that's what I alluded to at the beginning. The entertainment you've provided to many of us, myself included, it has been really, really terrific. And we're just hoping it continues for a long, long time to come.
Thank you. We'll keep on trying it for sure.
And with the company, one of the things that I wanted to point out before I let you go is that when people pre-order from your website, they get notifications, an update, I don't know, every few days or so from, I think, somebody named Jimmy. I'm not sure, to let you know, here's the status of your order. So it's not just hanging there, leaving you wondering where the product is when it's on back order or a brand new item that hasn't quite shipped yet.
Yeah, I would say this is something we've gotten better at. We probably weren't as good as we should have been early on, but we do pre-orders that are longer than most companies. On these products, it's just kind of the way we operate our business with the low margins and the kind of different requirements that we have as a company. But we want to show them to our customers early. We want to get early signals from our customers that if this is a product that they're going to want, and then it helps us prepare our supply chains, and we can just save a lot on the operations side of things, so that we can be more efficient with our costs and make sure that we can continue to offer products at the lowest possible price. And so we do longer pre-orders than some other companies. So we've tried to get better, of course, of sending weekly updates of here's where your product's at. This is kind of the developments. This is we're updating this piece of hardware, or we're making this kind of change, and doing our best to keep our customers informed of when they're going to get their product. We haven't always been as good at that, but we've definitely invested heavily. We hired Jimmy, as you mentioned, so we could be better at that.
Well, terrific. And it means a lot to your customers. As you said before, the customers have a feeling that they're a friend of the company, that they're being treated right.
Yeah, that's our hope. I mean, we're just normal people trying to make cool stuff for cool people, and just trying to think of how, always think of if our friends were in the room, what would they want for this product? How would we make it for them? What would we charge? That's how we operate in everything we do.
Any hints about what's next?
I mean, it's hard to say. There's so many things coming next. We've got, a lot of stuff in the pipeline. We've got, of course, more cameras coming.
You've got an RC car out there that's sold out too.
That's kind of, that was a funny one, because for April Fool's Day, we launched this kind of car we call the Wyze car, and it has a Wyze cam on top of it. And it was just kind of a fun toy. It wasn't too serious of a product. We almost wanted it to be like an April Fool's joke, and then people to be surprised that it was actually a real product. It wasn't just an April Fool's joke. So we only made 5,000 of them thinking that not a lot of people are going to want to buy this toy car. But demand for the toy car was insane. It broke our website all day long. Actually created a pretty frustrating experience for users, which was really, really unfortunate. But yeah, we like to have fun with our users as well and make toy cars along the way.
Well, congratulations on a few things here. First, the philosophy behind the company, what you're doing, the innovation that you're showing and being able to execute on the dream. And congratulations too on the YouTube side and your wonderful family.
Thank you so much, Fred. Appreciate it.
Now this. It takes a lot of listening to build a better radio, and that's just what the folks at C. Crane have done. Bob Crane and his crew, nestled among the rivers and tallest trees in the world in Fortuna, California, have made a habit of listening to their customers. And that's just what they've done in building the CC Skywave SSB, the Swiss Army knife of portable radios. For everyday listening to AM or FM in the yard or patio or on the nightstand without having to drain a mobile phone battery, it's a great companion. But it is also a companion equipped for NOAA weather information and alerts that can be life-saving. You can listen to FEMA and Coast Guard transmissions too. Beyond all of that, you can tune into shortwave signals from around the world. It's compact, easy to take with you, and built to last. The CC Skywave SSB. Click on the link at Techstination.com.